First of all, thank you for coming out here, Myron.
Thank you, man.
This may be a little bit of a niche question.
Sure.
But
We can go as deep as you guys want. Pause.
so when I think about Operation Fast and Furious and the Las Vegas shooting, we talk about transferring from Mexico into the U.S. How about the U.S. into Mexico? Or do you come across any kind of mercenaries from prior U.S. military in those cartels?
Great question. So first and foremost, Operation Fast and Furious, I'm glad you asked that question. For those that are unaware, basically we let a bunch of guns walk into Mexico. Those guns ended up in the hands of cartel people, killing people. And one of the worst situations, and this is a situation very near and dear to my heart, because a guy named Jaime Zapata was an HSI agent. He actually was assigned out of Laredo. He was killed by a gun from the Operation Fast and Furious. He was killed in Mexico. And it's funny story, not funny, but like crazy, wildly, close to home. My supervisor, my first supervisor, he was the one that was supposed to actually go to Mexico instead of Jaime Zapata, and he ended up not going to be with the wife. And it could have been very well him that got killed on that day back in, I think this was like February of 2011. But the Operation Fast and Furious almost got the ATF disbanded. It was such a big problem. But typically when it comes to firearms, we could talk about guns all day. Money and guns typically go south into Mexico, and then drugs and illegal aliens come north. Because in Mexico, funny to believe, they actually have strict gun laws. Like if they catch like a bullet in your car, this is why I never went to Mexico. Because like if you're going over there like as a tourist or whatever, if they catch like one bullet in your car, you might go to jail for 5 years. So it's interesting how they have these strict gun laws, but it does nothing for them. But that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, man, like that's typically what ends up going on when it comes to the guns. A lot of the guns that end up in Mexico came from the United States, especially places like Texas where they have very lax gun laws. Does that answer your question?
Yes, but I guess the follow-on was, have you ever come across, you could call them mercenaries?
Oh, yes,
with
yes.
respect to prior military in the U.S.?
Yes, funny story. Okay, year is roughly 2015-ish, 2016-ish, right? I'm on call, which when you're on call, you're basically, on the line for 24 hours, right? They can call you for anything. So I get a call. I'm like watching Breaking Bad or something like that. And Border Patrol calls me and says, hey, there's this guy here. He wants to provide information. We caught him at the border. Apparently he's been in informant before. He wants to talk to an HSI agent. He doesn't want to talk to Border Patrol. He wants to talk to somebody. So normally, right, you'd be like, man, I'm not going to go out for this, because you can get called at any time. So you want to conserve your energy and not go out for random calls. But me, I was like a go-getter. So I was like, you know what? I'll go out and talk to this guy. Let's see what he has to say. So I get dressed. I go over to the Border Patrol station, Laredo South, right there on 109 Shiloh Drive. And I go there and I sit down and I talk with him. And I'm like, so hey, what's up, man? And I get his information, right? He only